from the impeachment.
Nairobi's political volcano was just a...
Okay, karibu tena mtazamaji mpendwa kwa channel yangu. Ikiwa ni mara yako ya kwanza kutazama hizi video, huu ni mpendwa MIKEANN'S K254 reaction. Na kwa wale ambao wanarudi kwa kuweza kutazama, yani returning viewers, nasema ya kwamba asanteni sana kwa your great support. Na kwa hakika leo nina ujumbe ambao ni ujumbe mzito zaidi, na kabla tujaanza kuzungumzia, naomba tu usubscribe ikiwa ni mara yako ya kwanza. Tafadhali subscribe tu na itakuwa ya baraka. Please, niko chini ya miguu yako, naomba tu your subscription. Asante unapofanya hivyo. SAKAJA, governor wa Nairobi, ajikuta matatani, impeachment ikiwa inaendelea kwamba aweze kungatuliwa katika uongozi wake. Watch the video, then I will come for more reaction. But remember, subscribe on this channel. Thank you.
Erupted, and the blast radius could shake the entire country. A battalion of members of the county assembly has drawn the sword against Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. Not one charge, not 5, 22 explosive impeachment counts. The signatures already secured, the threshold surpassed, and the message from the assembly floor is loud and brutal. City Hall is now a battlefield. What makes this even more dramatic is the political twist behind it all. Just months ago, powerful national figures, including late opposition titan Raila Odinga and President William Ruto, were widely seen as the invisible shield protecting Sakaja from political extinction. But today, that shield appears cracked. Raila is no more, and Ruto took away Nairobi from him through crafted sign deal. Now Nairobi's MCAs are advancing with the mother of all impeachment motions, and if this political avalanche gathers momentum, Kenya's capital could wake up to an entirely new power equation.
We were supposed to give Governor Sakaja 60 days to implement some of the issues that the MCAs had raised. So this one has nothing to do with the first impeachment.
In life, giving people a second chance is not a crime, but if you continue giving second chances and things don't work, then that becomes a crime. It becomes negligence.
The fuse was lit into the Nairobi County Assembly. Leading the charge is South B MCA Waithera Chege, the deputy minority leader known among colleagues as a political bulldog who rarely backs down. Standing beside her is Babadogo MCA Godfrey Majiwa, the veteran voice in Nairobi politics. Together, they unveiled what insiders are calling one of the most aggressive impeachment attempts ever seen in the capital. The motion lists 22 separate accusations against Governor Sakaja. Under Kenyan law, an impeachment motion must be supported by at least 1/3 of the MCAs in the county assembly to proceed. That number in Nairobi is 42 signatures, but according to the sponsors of the motion, they already have well over that threshold, reportedly more than 55 signatures. That means the motion is not just symbolic, it is operational, and the political signal is unmistakable. A significant bloc inside the assembly believes Sakaja's administration has crossed the line. But the drama did not stop with signatures. A bizarre twist turned the entire assembly into a political thriller. According to Waithera Chege, the MCAs were ready to formally submit the impeachment motion, signatures in hand, documents prepared, the case ready to be placed before the speaker. Then suddenly, the clerk of the assembly disappeared. In Chege's own telling, the official responsible for receiving the documents could not be found. No desk, no office, no clerk. For a moment, the impeachment motion was stuck in limbo, but the speaker has since intervened, instructing that the motion be officially filed the following morning at 10 a.m., which means the process is now moving forward. And once the documents are formally tabled, the clock begins ticking on a political showdown that could reshape Nairobi governance.
Had another agenda of presenting the signatures of impeachment before the clerk. Unfortunately, we were not able to do that this afternoon. The clerk was nowhere to be seen. The speaker has promised us that tomorrow by 10 a.m. we'll be able to present the same before the clerk.
To understand why the rebellion exploded now, You have to rewind to a controversial agreement signed between Nairobi County and the national government. The deal, estimated at 8 billion shillings, aims to accelerate major infrastructure and service delivery projects in the capital. But critics inside the county assembly say the agreement sends a devastating message. The Nairobi County government cannot run the city on its own. Under the cooperation plan, the national government is expected to play a major role in key sectors such as roads, waste management, housing, water infrastructure. To supporters of the deal, this is practical governance, but to the many MCAs, it is political humiliation. They argue the agreement effectively transfers responsibilities that belong to the county, and in their eyes, it raises a painful question. If the national government must step in to run Nairobi, what exactly is the governor doing?
We have enough signatures for the first round. The second round comes within the 7 days, and I can assure you we have an overflow. And therefore, moving forward, we will only be counting days from tomorrow.
Beyond the assembly chambers, the political pressure is also coming from the streets. Nairobi residents have increasingly voiced frustration about service delivery, the most visible symbol, garbage. Across several neighborhoods, residents complain of uncollected waste piling up along roads and estates. Opponents of the governor have seized on these images to argue that the capital city is facing a governance crisis. For them, the sanitation issue has become a political metaphor. They claim Nairobi, once marketed as the green city in the sun, is now struggling with basic urban management. Whether fair or exaggerated, the perception has fueled the impeachment momentum. And in politics, perception can be just as powerful as reality. The conflict escalated even further during the dramatic Senate confrontation. Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna clashed directly with Governor SAKAJA during a tense session examining the county's plans and the controversial cooperation agreement. The exchanges were sharp, voices were raised. At one point, the confrontation grew so heated that Sifuna walked out of the session. The spectacle quickly became national political theater. Supporters of the senator said he was holding the governor accountable. Allies of SAKAJA argued the session had turned into political grandstanding. But regardless of interpretation, the clash signals something important. Nairobi's leadership was now openly divided.
Governor, my expectation is when you go to State House, please remind the President that he is the one responsible for payment of those NMS pending bills. Before you sign the contract, you cannot just be there smiling and laughing, and yet you know the trouble that these contractors from NMS are going through.
And over all this drama is the shadow of the 2027 elections. Ambitious politicians are already positioning themselves for the rest to control the capital. One of the most outspoken is Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino. The fiery legislator has publicly declared his intention to run for Nairobi governor in 2027. His promise to voters a single term focused entirely on cleaning up the city and dismantling entrenched cartels. Then he says he will pursue bigger national ambitions. Whether that plan succeeds remains to be seen.
Corruption allegations everywhere, stealing money everywhere. Not even Kidero did as worse as SAKAJA is doing now. Not even Sonko at least tried. But this person really messed Nairobi. Look at Nairobi the way things are. You can't recover this. It is messed up.
But one thing is clear. The impeachment storm around SAKAJA is unfolding inside a larger political chessboard, and every move now carries electoral consequences. If the impeachment motion passes in the Nairobi County Assembly, the process moves to the Senate. There, senators will conduct hearings and ultimately vote on whether to uphold or reject the charges. Kenyan history shows that Senate outcomes can be unpredictable. Some governors have survived Senate trials, others have not. For Governor SAKAJA, the immediate battle is inside the Assembly. If the MCN number hold firm, he faces a political fight that could define his entire tenure. Nairobi's political landscape is shifting fast. Alliances that once seemed solid are now fracturing. Ambitions for 2027 are already colliding with the realities of governance today, and the capital city, Kenya's economic heartbeat, is once again at the center of a high-stakes power struggle. One thing is certain, This impeachment saga is no longer a rumor whispered in corridors. It is now a full-blown political confrontation, and as the documents move across the Speaker's desk and into the legislative process, the question hanging over City Hall is simple. Is this the beginning of the end of government?
So guys, things is not easy and it's not good in Johnson Sakaja, because what is going on, it seems like Sakaja moto wake unazidi kuchemka, mambo yanazidi kuwa magumu na mazito kwake. Ni kwa nini? Kwa sababu hivi majuzi kuna kitu kiliweza kufanyika na ikawa inasemekana kwamba county ya Nairobi ni chafu, takataka everywhere, na watu wakawa wanaandamana ya kwamba Sakaja ameshindwa kufanya kile ambacho anatazamia kifanye, na mswada ukaenda bungeni wa kuweza kumngatua kwenye uongozi. So kwa mswada unazidi kutia tumbo joto na unazidi kufanya yani Sakaja awe kwa wakati mgumu sana, kwa sababu si kitu cha kwanza ambacho Sakaja amejipata ndani. Nafikiri hii ni mara ya pili. Ya kwanza aliweza kutetewa ama aliweza kurudishiwa uongozi wake, na sio mwingine bali ni Raila Amolo Odinga ndiye aliyeweza kuzungumza na akarejeshewa uongozi wake. Lakini as we are talking now, kitumbua kimetumbukia mchangani. Kwa nini? Ni kwa sababu kwa sasa inasemekana kwamba impeachment yake inafanywa kazi na Sakaja ataweza kungatuliwa kwenye uongozi. Kumbuka kwamba Sakaja amekuwa governor wa Nairobi alipita kwa chama cha UDA ambacho ni chama cha William Samoei Ruto ambaye ni kiongozi wa taifa la Kenya. Lakini cha kushangaza ni kwamba kuna utofauti mkubwa zaidi ambaye umejitokeza kwake baina yake na William Samoei Ruto, na ndiposa unaona kwamba vitu vinafanyika, lakini yeye amelinyamazia hili swala kwa sababu anajua ya kwamba Johnson Sakaja ataweza kungatuliwa. Wajua kwamba, wache niwakumbushe kitu. Huo mswada ulipopelekwa bungeni wa kungatua naibu president Rigathi Gachagua, watu walichukulia kwamba ni kitu hakiwezekani, ni kitu ambacho hakina uzito, yani people walichukulia hicho kitu kama kitu cha kawaida mno, bila kujua ya kwamba wale wakisha pitisha kitu kwenye bunge na ndiposa likataliwe hilo swala, ni lazima liwe na uzito zaidi. Na watu walikuwa shocked kuona ya kwamba mswada uliopelekwa bungeni wa kumngatua naibu president Rigathi Gachagua umeweza kupitishwa, na akawa ya kwamba yeye anangatuliwa kuwa kwenye kiti cha unaibu president. Sasa hata saa hii Sakaja vivyo hivyo mswada wa kumngatua umeingia bungeni. Je, Johnson Sakaja ataweza kungatuliwa kwenye uongozi wa Nairobi? Kwa sababu Johnson Sakaja yeye ndiye governor kule, na yeye Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya. Everyone knows that, and I can say that, or I can react on this by saying that in Nairobi is the biggest in Kenya, and it has more resources, like watu ni wengi, ina collect ushuru kwa wingi, unaona, the population of people is high, those things like that. It makes Nairobi to be the biggest place to live, or the biggest town in Kenya. And the governor of Nairobi, Johnson Sakaja, it seems like ameshindwa kutekeleza wajibu wake. Kwa nini? Ni kwa sababu tuliona ya kwamba wakiwa watu wametoka wakiandamana wakisema ya kwamba aweze kung'atuliwa kwa sababu ameshindwa kutekeleza wajibu wake. Mtu anaweza niuliza wajibu wake ni kama upi? Kuna vitu ambavyo inasemekana ya kwamba ameshindwa kuvifanya as a governor, na ameshindwa kuvifanya kama kiongozi wa Nairobi, na ndiposa huo mswada ukapelekwa pale, na huo mswada kwa hakika huenda ukawa unaleta mshtuko na pressure pia kwa Johnson Sakaja, kwa sababu hajui ni nini kitaweza kufanyika ama hajui ni nini wataweza kukiamua. So shukran kama unatazama hizi video popote ulipo, kumbuka tu kusubscribe kwa hii channel, na ikiwa ni mara yako ya kwanza tafadhali naomba tu subscribe. Ikiwa wewe ni returning viewers, thank you, may God bless you so much until we meet again in another reaction. But remember, Sakaja je abaki kuwa governor wa Nairobi ama ang'atuliwe? Jibu nipe tu kwa comment section na itakuwa ya baraka sana.
Sakaja or just the opening battle in Nairobi's next political war? Newsroom, Maisha TV, Reader, Kirin Chebet.